Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Luna and I make Animal Crossing videos every single week. So if you're into fairy core or decorating videos, maybe consider subscribing to join our little AC family. Last week we decorated our double neighborhood for Sasha and Mint. I love how it turned out. If you missed it or want to see how I created this build, I'll leave a link to this video in the time cards on top. For today's video, we will be creating another villager yard, and this time it will be for Tutu. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So here is the area that I will be decorating today. It's next to my resident services and it's also behind the build that I created last week. Oh, and we have Tutu here. She's ready for her house to be transformed. So I'm going to be placing her house here and creating some ponds in front of her house. I'm going to be placing her house first to get that out the way, and then I'm going to start decorating. Before I start explaining what I'm going to be doing for her yard, I want to start by saying that I created a poll last week to see which villager I should replace Scoot with, and I knew placing this villager in the poll list that she was going to win, but Lily won, and I don't blame you guys. I freaking love Lily. I think she's adorable. The only reason why I didn't have her to begin with was because I already had her on a previous island and I wanted to experience new villagers, and I always wanted Scoot, but the more I had him on my island, the more I was just like, he doesn't belong here. I was trying to convince myself for a long time because I love him so much, but let's be real, he doesn't fit my theme. So I ended up taking him to my other island and I got Lily. So then I was going to actually create this villager yard for Lily, but I realized that I want to create something special for Lily. Like, I want to put her on the other side of my island near my beach so that I can also decorate the beach for her and create kind of like a little frog paradise or something. I don't know yet, but I have an idea in mind, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to put her on the other side of my island, maybe create some ponds for her. And then I was like, okay, since this is not going to be for Lily, I should just continue moving my permanent villagers onto my actual island and not have them on my beaches. And I already moved 3 villagers so far, so this will be my 4th villager, and that's when I decided to move Tutu. So that's just a little backstory to this build. Now for Tutu's yard, I was going to do fairy ponds, but I always do fairy ponds, and I wanted to change it up a little bit and kind of freestyle some ponds here to kind of fill up the space since I have so much space here. I was going to create a butterfly shaped pond here, but it didn't fit. I was outlining it and it was just too big for this area, and I wasn't going to have enough space to get around. So I'm just going to save that for a different part of my island. And I don't know if I should create a crescent moon pond for this island. I feel like it's such a staple for a fairy core island, but I don't know if you guys are tired of me creating crescent moon ponds. So that's why I wanted to experiment and start creating different shaped ponds that you don't normally see. I'm going to experiment on some sunken waterfalls. I love waterfalls so much. I think they look so beautiful in a build, but they're so loud. I have the space behind my nook's cranny that I have no idea what to do, so I'm thinking of playing around with that back area and add some sunken waterfalls, or I might just leave that build for last because I have no idea what to do back there. For the next build, I might do Lily's yard or a different part of my island. I'm not sure yet. At least this right side of my island is almost done, so I can start working on the left side. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I do have Marina. She's so cute. I love that her head is bald and she has a cute little bow in the back of her head. I don't know what her bow is holding onto, but it's so cute. Also, for my builds, I usually outline the build and then I like to show you guys how it looks before I start decorating, and I completely forgot to show you guys the outline first. I just went straight to decorating. Don't ask me what type of shape this is. It's kind of like a half crescent moon pond, but not really. Now that I look at it a little bit more, it kind of looks like someone's fist. And here is the front of Tutu's house. I didn't want to add too much waterscaping because this is next to my beach. By the way, I did finish the DLC in one day. I hate that you have to do the DLC every single time you restart your island. I wish they saved what you did previously and then give you the option to just export it, because I have done this DLC like 5 times already, and as much as I love decorating, doing the DLC 5 times is just so annoying. And if you think I was sitting here and trying to make these houses look cute, I wasn't. I spent like 1 minute on each house and throwing anything into that house and calling it a day. So once I finished that, I was able to change Tutu's house into this pink house with the green mum wreath on the outside, and I love how it turned out. I did change Sasha and Mint's house into like a blue-green color, and I wasn't sure if I was going to go for that color, but I do really love it for their homes. I wish they had an option for like a mint color, but it's either a bright blue, dark blue, or a mix of blue green. And the green colors that they have are not the green colors that I want. It's like this dark green. So it's either going to be white, pink, or blue green color for these houses. So speaking of villager homes, now I only have 2 more villagers to get and I will be completely done with the villagers for this island. And I have a few in mind, so I'm going to create another poll on my community tab to see which villager I should get next. If you have any suggestions for the villagers I should have on my island, let me know in the comments. I'm looking for white, pink, or green villagers. So yeah, we're almost done with this build. I'm just going to finish decorating the front of her yard and I'm going to fill up the space with a lot of trees. Not a lot of trees where it's overwhelming, but enough to make it kind of feel like you're in a forest. And then I'm filling up the space with all of my favorite custom designs. And as always, I'll leave all of the design codes that I used for this video in the description below. I love how this build is coming together. The custom designs always make this build look 10,000 times better. Of course, the trees and the flowers also make this build come together, but when you use the right design codes, it just makes everything look so much better. I wanted to include more castle items in this build, but they're so expensive. I think the castle wall is like 56,000 and the castle tower is like 250,000 bells. Like that's so much, but I think I have enough to start adding some more, so I might go back to some of my old builds and include them. The ruined pillars are my favorite because they make the area feel like a fairy tale and more enchanting, and of course the cherry blossom season just brings everything up a notch. But yeah, I'm just rearranging some of the plants that I planted and I'm adding Tutu's photo in front of her house as I do for all of the villager homes, adding this beware fairy sign, and then I'm going to go back and scatter some Libra fragments and mushrooms all over this area and we will be done with this build. So here is how the first part of this area looks. This is right next to my resident services and we have Megan here smelling the freshly planted flowers. I'm going to miss her when she leaves my island. But yeah, I love how this area came out and you have 2 ways to go. You can either go up the staircase or you can head through this little mini pathway that I created to Tutu's house or the beach. And here is how the whole entire area looks. I'm super obsessed with how this turned out. This turned out way better than I expected and I love the little arm fist looking land that I made. Everything just looks so beautiful. And here is a closer look of Tutu's house and her yard. She's homesick, so she couldn't come out and see her beautiful yard, but Marina is having a blast in her yard. I saw that Marina sat down and I was like, ooh, let me quickly take a picture with her, but she said nah and walked away from me. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoy the build and the video, let me know by hitting the like button, and if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to join our little AC family. Also, don't forget to head over to my community tab to cast your vote on which villager we should get next. Love you all always, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!